In 2002, I went into Turkmenistan,
Yeah.
where there is a very big gas field called the Dolatabad gas
It's
field.
it's considered the least traveled to country in the world, or the strangest dictatorship. I don't know,
Yeah,
either
it's
one
a
of those.
strangest dictatorship because the dictator has built statues of himself all over the city, and he's got photo. And in those days, I don't know who the dictator is now because that guy has died. I think his name was Rachmanov, and he was a Muslim, but his name was Slavicized. It became
Right, he must be one of the white
Rahman. It
Muslims.
became Rachmanov,
Yeah.
and he had a Jewish wife, and he had built 22 hotels in that city. All the hotels were empty, but at night the lights went on to give it the feeling of being a bustling city. And the population of Turkmenistan was 5 million, and they were encouraged not to work because their main export was gas, and they didn't want anyone to set up a business, because if you set up a business, then you made a profit. And if you made a profit, you would fund political dissent. So, in order to stem political dissent, he said free electricity, free gas, free housing, free education, free hospitals, everything free, and a dole. And sit at home, play video games, and enjoy life.
If you want to watch small segments of the podcast, subscribe to Dostcast Clips. They also paid dole. For context, that's just like welfare money, right? That the
Welfare
state-
money,
Yeah.
exactly. So I've traveled there, and I've been 5 times to Afghanistan, and I've
Okay.
driven through different parts of it. I've been with the American army on these missions I've filmed them to clean up these guerrilla activity along the Pakistan border. So I've seen it all. So I have a lot of experience. I've met a lot of people there. I've built contacts.
Were you ever shot at during these times?
No, I was never shot at. I was fortunate enough because, sometimes you have the luck of the devil. And so I decided to write a few books about my experiences. So the first book I wrote was The Bomb, the Bank, the Mullah and the Poppies, which talked about how the Pakistanis harvested heroin from the opium in order to pay for their nuclear program. And the second book was The Nukes, the Jihad, the Hawalas and crystal meth, which is how they decided to shift to becoming a multi-product narcotics producer. And for which they had to get the Americans out of Afghanistan, and they unleashed a jihad. And in fact, Mullah Baradar, who was the guy who led the talks with the Americans in Doha, he was the most brilliant manager of the opium business. And he was the one of Pashtun who provided the structural oversight from the Afghan side on the growth of the business.